no one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com where the world plays poker.
You folding?
Poker, it takes no prisoners. The Devilfish is one of the most recognized faces in the game, but there are no guarantees on the table. It was the online qualifiers who stole the limelight and the final spot in the semifinals. And now we have 12, and this is where you get paid to play. Everyone's looking for the big money, and our first semifinal looks set to be a cracker. It's the semifinal stages in the chase for the $125,000 first prize, and now it's getting serious. I'm Jesse May, here with actor and poker pro Michael Greco. And Michael, semifinals, are the players feeling the pressure?
I think they're going to feel the pressure because the money starts getting big, especially for those three that get to the final. And it's very important now to get to the final three because that's when the money really does start to accumulate.
Well, let's talk tactics. I mean, it is the final three. Not only do they get to go to this final table, but they take their chips with them. As soon as the table hits three players, we'll freeze, hit those chip counts, and that'll be their starting stack on the final table. So is it aggressive or tight?
It's, I think, first of all, play tight, see what the situation is. If you're playing against very tight players, then be aggressive. If you're playing against aggressive players, see if they knock themselves out. But you do not want to qualify for the final table with a short stack of chips because you're just going to get eaten up. You want to go there with a good amount, so I think just play your game. If you get the cards, you make the moves, and you get the chips. Just play your game.
Well, let's hear from a man. Tactics are his backyard. He's a battleship upstairs. Former world champion Phil Hellmuth.
All right, we're down to two semifinals. What do you want to do? Well, first of all, you're going to be bringing your chips with you. So the final three players are going to advance. Three aren't. So to me, you have to be one of those final three players, even if you're a bit short. So I would play a very patient game. I would play a bit of a waiting game. Now, if you have a bunch of passive players, then you can be aggressive and pick up a lot of small pots. But if it's a bunch of super aggressive players, they may force you to play a big pot when you have a big hand, which is good, or you may have to just sit on your hands for a while and come in with a short stack. That's okay. You have to play a passive style against a bunch of super aggressive guys. You have to make sure you make the final three or you lose with a big hand.
Well, Michael, Phil Hellmuth says play tight early on and wait till the stakes get up there. But to me, there's going to be a big bubble four-handed because when it gets four-handed, if someone's a chip leader, they can really turn the screws, can't they?
Yeah, it's like a big multi-table tournament. You know, when it gets down to the bubble, everyone starts just keeping hold of the stack and not wanting to miss out on the money. But then I would do the opposite. I'd try and get the chips then because everybody wants to get in the top three. But like I say, I think it's a case of sussing out your players, and all of these are great players in the semi-final. Best man wins, really.
And we could see a situation where one player ends up at that final table with a whole load of chips.
A whole load of chips, and second and third might have no chips at all. So it just depends on the cards, if you're going to hit the flops, on your luck, if you're in form, all those matters.
Well, it is a crackerjack lineup. The players are getting ready to get over the table. Let's see who's in and who's sitting where. Very tough lineup, and we're lucky to be joined by two of those players, dare I say, two of the favorites, Dave Colclough and Barry Hearn. Now, Dave, in your heat, what an amazing comeback. Are you still feeling it?
Wow, I think it took me about 2 weeks to recover from that. It was emotional, as TK would say.
Well, we can have a look at what it was like when you finally came back. You were down to 10,000 chips once, down to 15,000 chips again, and You just could not believe what you had been through. And
It was astonishing stuff, it really was. I've been playing for 20 years and I've never experienced as many highs and lows in a period of like 3 hours like that. It was literally just up, down, up, down, up, down. It was like 1 minute I'm gutted, next minute I'm on top of the world, then I'm gutted again. I keep getting kicked down. And
Dave, you haven't had too much luck in the TV tournaments over the last kind of 6 months to a year. Do you think this is the time to strike?
oh, it's the last 3 to 4 years actually, but hopefully, hopefully the heat was a change in fortune, shall we say. Let's see if I can get it on today.
Now, Barry, one thing that comes through when you play poker is that you just love the game. You're always having fun. Now, semi-final, is it more pressure or more fun?
Oh, this is total fun. There's absolutely no pressure on me whatsoever. I mean, I've got every respect for the players I'm playing. I think this is a really tough semi-final. This is going to be a blow. If this was a fight, the referee's going to stop it to avoid the crowd taking too much punishment. This is going to be brutal, but it's got to be fun because otherwise, what are we playing for?
Well, in your heat, I mean, you could just see by the end, you know, you were grueling it out with Liam Flood and Chris Parks, and then, was it a card on the river? You made it straight in. Well, that's what you'll play for, isn't it?
Well, you know, if this game doesn't produce adrenaline, then we're really in the wrong game. Dave's had 20 years, I've had 5, and, you know, I know he's probably had a lot more rushes than I've had, but this is what we all play for. I mean, the money that comes out is lovely. Of course, we all want to win the money, but the actual rush of adrenaline, you can't buy it.
The semi-final stages of the PartyPoker.com European Open is about to begin. Michael and I really excited. Why? Ian Fraser, Barry Hearn, Robin Keston, Dave Colclough. Hello, darling. We'll be back right after this.
No one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com.
Well, it's just about that time. Michael Greco, you've seen the lineup. They're about ready to begin. What's your prediction?
Fantastic lineup. Each one of them are great players in their own right. I cannot put my finger on who I think is going to win. Sorry.
Too close to call, but you better believe they'll be in there trying their eyes out. Well, the smoke is rising, the players are seated, the cards are on the table, so no wasting time. Michael Greco and I will be guiding you through. Let's get over to the game.
She brought everybody in the family.
Each player beginning tonight with the standard 100,000 in tournament chips. Those yellows worth 1,000, the blues 2,000 apiece, and the reds are worth 5,000 each. And really, it's anybody's guess which of these 6 will be looking to drive the pace and which ones will be looking to sit back and make that final.
Okay, back on the clock.
Glasgow.
Yeah, they're all as good as each other. And you know what? If you're going to hit the flops tonight, the man who's going to hit the flops is going to be the man who goes to the final with the most chips.
And a total of 600,000 in tournament chips on this table. So those 600,000 will go forward, putting 1.2 million on the final table.
Oh, what a lovely hand from Robin.
First time we've seen the rockets in the pocket this evening.
9,000 total.
And Robin creeps in behind Barry Hearn with a nice little raise of 7,000 more.
Great place to have it as well on the button. People think you're making a little button raise.
And Barry's here to play. He's giving Robin action. This could get him into trouble.
Well, 7-10 of hearts. It's been done before. Aces have been outflopped by such a hand. Not this time. That's got to be a scary flop, though, for Robin, isn't it?
Check.
Oh,
Check.
Robin's playing very cagey here. He may induce a bluff.
Well, if Barry checks again, I think Robin will bet because it's a... Oof. It's just getting worse and worse for Robin, isn't it?
Well, interestingly, the ace, which would make Barry a straight, would make Robin a full house. So he's actually drawing dead to a 9 here, isn't he?
You know what? There's a full house there. There's a straight. There's a flush. Robin's going to think, okay, what's Barry got? He's called my raise. Has he got a king? Has he got the flush? Has he got the straight? Has he got ace 10?
Just wonder, was Robin checking on the flop to raise on the turn, and now he's gotten a bit scared of that card?